ChatGPT, we're under attack from the front left and front right. Respond accordingly.
If you need any further assistance, just let me know.
Alright, the moon is moving in the sky. It's running away from this craft. I don't even know what that is. Look at that. I'm standing still. I'm leaving my camera still. That's the moon moving away. And that thing's chasing it.
Yes, can you move negative 25 degrees, then sweep across the field of fire, stopping every 5 degrees to fire one round? You should also have some variation in the pitch.
Firing one round at each 5-degree interval, with variations in pitch. If you require any further actions, feel free to let me know.
Good job, you saved us.
I'm glad I could help.
Alright, what's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. I got a good creepy video compilation for you guys today, so I mean, if that's your type of thing, stick around, and about to get right to the video. Let's check it out. You know, stuff like that.
These buildings all around here, as I told in class last night, they're ours. They belong to us. They're ancient, these buildings. There's a whole city underneath this city. They've been burned, all the major cities, the major energy centers. Our ancestors set up these energy centers that we call Philadelphia, New York, Boston, Atlanta, Detroit, right? Chicago, Miami, Los Angeles. They are energy centers. They're not where they are in huge, large cities just because of some coincidence. There's energy and power in these places. London, Rio de Janeiro.
Man, I was so mad when I figured out about this stuff. They're lying about stuff as simple as old buildings. You could tell by the way they're made that there's no way we were making those back in the early 1800s, late 1800s. There's just no way. We didn't have the technology. They claim all this stuff was brought in with horses and buggies, and they used hammers and chisels. Like, they're full of shit. These old world buildings, they're amazing, and it's just a shame that they've knocked most of them down.
There was a talk about souls. They were interested in our soul somehow. How do we have a soul? How does this container hold a soul?
Yeah, they can't
have them. That was
them.
a strange conversation. I thought, man, that's just weird stuff people talk about in this base. I was sitting outside of my office, smoking a cigarette at the table with all the guys from the 732nd, the communication guys that listen to people talk. There was a couple of officers there. There was a first lieutenant and a second lieutenant, and then I believe there was a lieutenant colonel. They were talking about how these beings from another planet were interested in our soul. How did our soul get in our body, and how could they extract our soul? How did it fit? Could they move the soul to another vessel? Stuff like that. It was like, it was crazy, but I just listened, and it started to make some sense that these beings from another planet are interested in our soul. And how is it in the container? And they could repair our containers and do all kinds of stuff to us, but they couldn't get our soul. They wanted to know how to capture the soul. We were on an Earth school. Our souls were in school. Somehow this is where our souls came to learn. And they wanted to know how to get our souls, the knowledge of the souls, or something that we've learned in this lifetime, this incarnation.
They can bring us down here and learn with us. That's how they get
them. We pick our own lives, and we made to forget, and then we're born again. And then we die, and then we go back to the soul world, wherever the souls go, and we get to keep doing that until we learn and learn and learn. And they were talking about all this interesting stuff I found fascinating. Somebody's got to be translating this otherworldly communication, and I just can't get over the fact that we figured out a dialect. Where did you figure it out? It makes no sense. And how many other species are we not aware of, or they're aware of and I don't know about? And, you know, something's wrong. It's a whole world of deceit. We're going to Iraq to get artifacts, not to get anything but artifacts. That was the most important thing, they said. There were things in Iraq that were so old that we had to go get. And Bush wanted those artifacts. It was very important. We got them. They said they got everything they needed from that country. You're looking for the Ark of the Covenant type stuff. You know, weapons like that. It's a weapon. Supposedly it has the power to kill, and you're not supposed to look upon it or anything. We needed this for our own protection type thing. This is very important that we had this. Almost like a very big treasure, and if we have it, we're safe. They can't touch us type thing, and we've got it.
We act like we have the right
Jeffrey
to take that
Hinton.
kind of
Jeffrey
stuff.
Hinton.
Seen as the godfather of artificial intelligence, has quit his job at Google, warning of the dangers of AI.
Does humanity know what it's doing?
No. I think we're moving into a period when, for the first time ever, we may have things more intelligent than us.
You believe they can understand?
Yes.
You believe they are intelligent?
Yes.
You believe these systems have experiences of their own and can make decisions based on those experiences?
In the same sense as people do, yes.
Are they conscious?
I think they probably don't have much self-awareness at present. So in that sense, I don't think they're conscious.
Will they have self-awareness, consciousness?
Oh, yes. I think they will in time.
And so human beings will be the second most intelligent beings on the planet.
Yeah, but as soon as it gets really complicated, we don't actually know what's going on any more than we know what's going on in your brain.
What do you mean we don't know exactly how it works? It was designed by people.
No, it wasn't. What we did was we designed the learning algorithm. That's a bit like designing the principle of evolution. But when this learning algorithm then interacts with data, it produces complicated neural networks that are good at doing things, but we don't really understand exactly how they do those things. So one of the ways in which these systems might escape control is by writing their own computer code to modify themselves. And that's something we need to seriously worry about.
This AI, if they start learning how to write their own code, there's nothing they wouldn't be able to do. I think that's why he quit. He sees that these people are messing with fire and they don't really care. Because that's all it takes is one person using it in the wrong way, and then there's nothing we can do to stop it.
Doing some research on the New York City subway stations. And it's interesting because they said that the subway stations were founded in 1904 and they opened in 1905. So they were found, that's what founded means, they were found in 1904 and they opened 1 year later. They didn't build them, they just took ownership of these tunnels that are deep underneath New York City. And it's interesting because when you look at all of these tunnels, you sit there and think, okay, you go up above on the street, you got horse and wagon and all this stuff roaming around, but you're building these massive tunnels cutting through the earth. Take a perfect example. Go outside, get a shovel, and see how far you can go in the earth. Especially in a time around the 1900s where it's very challenging to do that. There's no construction photos. There's just like 4 people standing in front of a tunnel saying that we built it. You would think if you did the first subway ever that people are blown away that they could go in, you'd have photos galore. But you only have one photo of 4 people standing in front of a tunnel saying that you found or founded the tunnels of New York City.
All right, the moon is moving in the sky. It's running away from this craft. I don't even know what that is. Look at that. I'm standing still. I'm leaving my camera still. That's the moon moving away. And that thing's chasing it. If I sit still, look, the moon runs away from my camera. I'll put it all the way over here and watch. The moon is running away. It's the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's running away from this craft. It almost seems like it's changing directions, like it's not going straight. Somebody tell me what's going on here. I've never seen this before. The moon is literally running away from that thing. Holy freaking cow.
Let me know, have you guys ever seen the moon move? Because personally, I've never seen it. And sometimes the clouds can make it look like it's moving, but in that video right there, like it really looks like it's moving. It's moving away from his camera. You never know, the moon might be some type of spaceship. That'd be crazy.
been hiding the true answer to this question from us. Why are these doors and windows halfway in the ground? During the early 19th century, strange events were reported worldwide. Cities were being dug out from layers of mud and debris. Buildings were being revealed that were covered to their rooftops in mud. A global cataclysmic event buried entire civilizations, erasing them from history. But here is where it gets rather unsettling. The Tartarian Empire, an empire often depicted in old maps, was an advanced civilization that existed across Europe and Asia. They built architectural marvels, had access to advanced technology, and were able to harness energy from the atmos. The mud flood, many say, was a deliberate attempt to wipe out Tartaria from history, hiding their advanced technology and knowledge. But it gets even darker. Look at the world's fairs of the late 1800s and early 1900s. These elaborate buildings, resembling ancient architecture, were supposedly built in just a few years. After the fairs, they were supposedly demolished. Was this to erase evidence of an advanced pre-existing civilization? The Chicago World Fair in 1893, the Paris Exposition in 1900, and the St. Louis World Fair in 1904. These events showcased magnificent architecture, and on official papers they were apparently built with plaster and wood. Do these look like temporary structures to you? The sudden disappearance of these architectural marvels raises the question, were they remnants of the Tartarian Empire, conveniently disguised as temporary exhibits and then destroyed to hide their origins?
I started getting into the 1900s. You see orphan trains.
That's what I just made a note about that. What's with all the freaking orphans?
Baby incubators, orphans, children. Yeah. 80% child labor, which is interesting because imagine trying to build a castle with children, like that would never happen. They would just be playing and messing around and whatever else. But, so with that, where are all these kids coming from? And then America is called the New World. They've removed the old world and it's become the New World. And they're exploring the New World. Christopher Columbus exploring the New World and that whole narrative. So what happened in America? Why were all these buildings destroyed here, but then all the buildings are still remaining in Europe? This is a question that people can ask too, but yeah, you see all these babies, you see baby incubators, you see all these things, and then you start to ask, where are all the kids coming from? And where are all the parents? If there's all these babies appearing, shouldn't they have parents? And that's where I started to look at all this and go, this looks almost like we're living in the Truman Show. That's the best way to describe it. And we're taking place in this scenario. There were other scenarios in the past, like you said, but each one had a different timeline, and then now we're here today. And now, as you said, like even Jason with RKX and everybody else, everybody's unfolding and unpacking everything, and then that's leading down a million more rabbit holes to kind of start asking questions about, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense. This timeline doesn't even mess with this timeline.
After the news broke of a deadly outbreak, the CDC recommended everyone get tested so the government could identify those who need to be vaccinated by evaluating their genetic markers.
You're collecting everyone's DNA.
Once everyone's DNA is stored in the National Healthcare Database, then they just need to be sorted.
That reminds me of COVID-19. I wonder what they did with all those tests, if they kept them or threw them away. Because if they kept them, they now have everybody's DNA. So I think I'm going to look into that. I'm going to do some research on that. And if they kept them, I'm going to need mine back.
They ain't giving us money, they giving us acknowledgement. I don't want your acknowledgement. And I went so far past any level of acknowledgement. I was banished, I was exiled, I was canceled multiple times. So what, I done had like my kids not show up to Sunday service right in front of everybody. And you know what I mean? Like I'm crying to see my daughter, and all of the usual suspects, the handlers, Dave Chappelle, Meek Mills, Diddy, all these people aren't in position. Now for us as celebrities, they got to call and put a leash on them. What we going to do with Ye? Oh, he delusional, that's the best. Dave, give him a call. Diddy, give him a call. Tell him we ain't like the t-shirt. Tell him like right now the agenda is this is the voting agenda for the celebrities, for the black. Make them do exactly what LeBron would do. Make them do exactly what Drake would do. And y'all know my stance on this. Ain't that.
I mean, that's clearly two objects. Look at that. What is this? That is so weird. Sorry, but that is just strange to me. Why is that having a hard time focusing now? Just slowly. Because the moon was over there. That is strange, people. Very, very, very strange. But when I look at it naked eye, I can't see it like that. But when I go like this, I can see it. They rose up together because neither one of them were in that sky. I mean, just to show you, like, I am not full of it here. Here is this.
UFO landing in Brazil in 1996. Holy shit, it's incredible. I had no idea that there's a city called Varginha in Brazil, and in 1996, according to everyone who was there, according to medical records of people who were there, according to, like, they blocked off, the military came in, cordoned off the area, they recovered a crashed UFO, and there was living creatures that people came in contact with, and one of them was this tiny little thing that this guy carried, and he carried it to wherever they were going to examine it, and when he carried it, he got whatever was on its skin. It had like a slippery kind of skin. It got into his body and infected him, and he wound up with this horrible general infection. He wound up dying. His body shut down. His immune system shut down. His body didn't know what the fuck to do with this alien thing that he was interacting with. And there's real records of this guy contacting this thing, grabbing it, carrying it in. All these people witnessed it, and then this guy winds up with this insane infection shortly thereafterwards. That's all documented too, all of his medical records.
How long did the original Yankee Stadium take to construct?
The original Yankee Stadium took approximately 284 days to
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Did you say days? Did you say this took... Say that again for the people in the back.
The original Yankee Stadium took 284 days to construct, from May 1922 to April 1923. That's less than 10 months.
Yeah, it is. You want to do an estimate of the materials for this as far as the granite, the limestone, marble, and iron is concerned? Please include the subfloors as well.
Yankee Stadium's material breakdown: granite, 300,000 cubic feet.
And please make sure you're considering the underground levels as well, and connected to the tunnel systems that were so important to build.
Considering underground levels and tunnel systems, Yankee Stadium's total material estimate increases: granite, 400,000 cubic feet, limestone, 300,000 cubic feet, marble, 100,000 square feet, iron/steel, 15,000 tons, concrete, 500,000 square feet, total estimated weight, approximately 750,000 tons.
So what's the total weight of construction materials?
Approximately 750,000 tons of construction materials were used to build Yankee Stadium, including underground levels and tunnel systems.
That's incredible that all that material got there with horses and donkeys.
Very early in 2025, all hell is going to break loose. The volume of sightings, weird objects in the sky, it's off the charts. I am swamped by people sending me videos from all over the world. And it's not just in Bedminster, New Jersey. It's not just in the United Kingdom. It's India, Greenland, Russia, Kazakhstan, China, Japan. I cannot believe the volume of sightings that are going on at the moment. Something is showing itself in our skies. We are going to look back and we are going to say that the autumn of the drones was a turning point. There's consistent sightings of drones over military facilities. It sounds like nothing at the moment, but I wager it's going to turn out to be enormous. I think 2024 in future will be seen, ironically, as the calm before the storm. A reckoning is coming.
My whole life, I've had this feeling like something big's going to happen in our lifetime. And I know a lot of other people have been feeling the same way. And I have no clue what's going to happen or when it's going to happen. But it's just hard to explain. It's like a feeling. And every day, more and more people are waking up to their bullshit. So, I mean, they're not going to be able to hide forever. We need change in a really big way right now because this just ain't it.
It was like as low as our roof.
Look at there they go again. Look, there's 6 of them. 6 of them. Here they come. Look at this. And they're traveling. And now they're doing dances. And now they're going to shoot over top of our heads. Look at this. Look, it's just shooting over my head. Right over top of me. It just shot right over top of me.
Turn off your freaking...
What the fuck was that? It shot 4 beams. You seen that?
One was purple.
It was white and blue, purple. Fuck, and my phone won't work. Video won't even go on. You got yours?
Yeah.
Look, my video won't even go on. The phones are fucking disrupted.
Call me schizophrenic now, bitch.
Wow. What the fuck?
Sorry.
I just got, look at that, look at it. Oh my God, I can't record it yet.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
You got that? You got that?
Yeah, I got it.
God damn,
Talk
what is
about
going on?
schizophrenia.
I told you.
Look.
Look. What the fuck? They're looking for something, and the beams are shooting across the sky.
Ricky, what if that's related to what we were seeing that one time?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, like the orbs, yes, the ones we have on video on the night vision.
What if it's that orb that
What
we saw
the
fuck?
shooting?
That's coming from out east too. That's out east deep.
Literally in the car, right? I told her, keep her eye on the sky and lights will appear. And then look, I told her.
I see. What I told your mom the same
She
thing.
called me
What I tell you?
schizophrenic.
I told your mom the same thing on the way home. Whoa,
Look
whoa.
at this shit.
Wait, that
Whoa.
just shot.
Watch this. Wow, look at it. Look at it. Whoa.
Wait, they just shot from that way to here.
They just shot back and forth.
Dude, this is insane.
Oh my God. My phone is disrupted too. The camera is all messed up.
Oh, he's schizophrenic.
All the lights are affected on the phone, right? There's a glare and it says that they affect the lights as well. Look at the glare on the lights off of everything. What in the hell was that? There's more. I see them. They're moving. I see them moving.
Should I get my
Yeah,
night
turn
vision
the light
goggles?
off so it's easier to see.
Should I get my night vision goggles?
Yes, go get the night vision goggles. Yes. It's getting brighter. You see it over there? It's getting lit up. What the fuck was that? They shot across the sky and back. They're moving back and forth at fat lightning speed. That is not any lightning.
It's the great secret that everyone knows except us in the West. Almost any other culture that we go to, from the monasteries in Egypt and Tibet and India and Bolivia and Peru, the indigenous traditions, little villages in the Andes Mountains, they all know that there is this experience that we can have inside of our bodies that affects our world in some way, and our science simply has not allowed for that historically. So I began to go to these places. I began to go into the monasteries, all the places that I mentioned. And what we begin to understand is that this is the place where science got it wrong. Two places, two assumptions. First one is that the space we believe is empty is not really so empty. It's full of a living essence, of a living material that we're only beginning to understand, number one. And number two, the fact, and it is a fact now, that we may have experiences inside of our bodies that influence the world beyond our bodies through the conduit of what's in this space. So it was in going into the monasteries and the nunneries and speaking with the indigenous people, looking at them eye to eye, heart to heart, God to God, and I could say to these people, when you just performed that miracle, when you just performed that miraculous healing, what is it that you did inside of your body to make that happen? And if I didn't understand what they told me, I'd ask them again and again and again through the translators until I understood that they were creating an experience, producing an effect inside of their bodies that my science never told me was possible or existed. And so it was that path that allowed me to flesh out the missing pieces that we're only beginning to understand today, marrying the best science of our time with the wisdom, 5,000 years of wisdom of our past, into a greater understanding. And that understanding, it brings us back to where we're only now beginning to understand that there is something that we can do in our lives that influence not only the physical body, ours and those of other people around us, but literally influence the physical reality of our world, and that changes everything. It changes everything. that we in the West believe about ourselves. So as a scientist, I've also come to understand this is a very different way for many people to think about themselves and their world. And this is not something that people typically talk about in a technical organization. They don't wake up in the morning and say, what kinds of feelings, what kinds of dreams, what kinds of healings did you have over the weekend? And they're talking about who won the football game and who won the lotteries. This is where it brings us the relevance in our lives, because we all are having experiences every day. Whether we are consciously aware of it or not, those experiences are physically affecting our bodies and our world.
And they try to dumb us down with everything. The food, the music, the TV. And we still ain't going for it. You know they gotta hate us. Alright you guys, that's gonna be it for the video today. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Love ya.